A playoff push. We have a matchup between the top three teams in the West tonight in Denver. And while this game can impact the Thunder's seeding, it still can impact their playoff path. So a win for the Thunder could push the Nuggets down to the 4 or the 5 seed and set up a potential round 2 matchup between Denver and OKC, while a Nuggets win keeps Denver in the driver's seat for the 3 seed. So the Nuggets currently own the league's longest active win streak, 10 games, and it's their first double-digit win streak since they set a franchise record 15 straight in 2013. Denver, as we know, has been dominant offensively during this stretch. They rank first in the NBA in points per game and field goal percentage. So, David, knowing that OKC's already locked up the top seed, they're going to rest 10 guys tonight, the impact, or I guess the outcome of this game, doesn't necessarily matter towards a potential playoff rematch between these two teams. But if they do get to the playoffs, can the Denver Nuggets upset the Oklahoma City Thunder?
Absolutely. I would still favor the Thunder, of course, is why we call it an upset. But I will never count Nikola Jokic out when you have a guy who's leading the league in rebounds and assists and playing at the level that he's playing. A couple of weeks ago, I had real concerns with this Nuggets team, especially the way they were playing defense, the way they were folding in the clutch. But since then, when they've had these games they've really needed to win for seeding, Aaron Gordon has stepped up defensively. Jokic, whose defense had been pretty atrocious ever since he had that injury earlier this season, since he's come back, his defense has stepped up. They're getting healthier at the right time. They need Christian Brown to hit some more of those wide open threes because teams are going to leave them open come playoff time. But this team, remember, was an Aaron Gordon injury away in Game 7 from potentially winning that series. And if you think that the Thunder are going to throw Caruso and Jokic again and that's going to work, it ain't going to work. They're going to have to figure something else out. So I will absolutely not count this Denver Nuggets team out against anybody in the playoffs.
I think if the Denver Nuggets were to get past San Antonio and then the Oklahoma City Thunder, we're talking about one of the more remarkable playoff runs in the history of the NBA. We're talking about Dirk Nowitzki and that run in 2011. We're talking about the Houston Rockets in '95 when they beat 3 50-win teams on the way to winning the NBA title. They have a chance. I don't know how great that puncher's chance is, but they have a chance. They have 7 guys who shoot 40% or more from 3. The three-point shot is the big equalizer in the NBA, especially in the playoffs when you have Jokic in a spread floor and possibly one defender in his face. I think we're kind of underselling how great the Thunder are. Like, they have been historically great after we stopped paying attention to them. Right? They lost the 4 or 5 games against the Spurs. They had the little lull. Jalen Williams went out with the hamstring injury. Then he went out again with the hand injury, or vice versa. He was out with the hand and then the hamstring injury. We stopped paying attention to him, but they've been on such a run in this second half of the season, outscoring opponents by 12 points a game. San Antonio has been on such a run but haven't been able to gain ground because Oklahoma City has refound itself. But when you get in the playoffs and you get Jokic, who's on a historical run, one of the most underappreciated great seasons in NBA history, I'm going to give him a shot. Not a great shot, but I'm going to give him a shot.
Perk, how do you see it?
Courtney, I'm going to answer the question. Can the Nuggets upset the Thunder in the playoffs? No. No. Simple. They can and maybe, and it's a strong possibility. No, the answer is no. You know why? Number one, the Thunder have the best player in the world, and his name is SGA, right? Joining the company again of Michael Jeffrey Jordan. 4 consecutive seasons, averaging 30, shooting over 50% from the field. Okay, so let's say this. Let's take the Thunder Big 3 and Denver's Big 3. Aaron Gordon, Murray, Jokic, Chet, J-Dub, SGA, and say those guys cancel each other out. Let's look at the rest of that roster. The Thunder depth, I trust more. When you talk about Jared McCain, who they picked up at the trade deadline, when you're looking at a guy like Aaron Wiggins, who had huge moments throughout their playoff run, Cason Wallace, who comes in an excellent two-way player, Isaiah Joe, Alex Caruso, Mitchell is a starting guard on any other team in the NBA. And so when you're looking at the depth, I trust OKC depth more than I trust the Denver Nuggets depth outside of the Big 3. And that's why I say that I don't give the Nuggets a chance. Also, when you get that deep, my thing is who's going to be their perimeter defenders outside of Aaron Gordon when you talk about the Nuggets? Peyton Watson, is he going to be 100% healthy coming off a hamstring injury that deep in the postseason? Is he going to be able to keep up? That's if Denver get past the San Antonio Spurs. But when it comes to OKC and Denver in that matchup, I understand we could revisit last year, and if was a fifth, we'll all be drunk if Aaron Gordon didn't injure his hamstring, and maybe they would have took it, but they didn't. And now this team has grown. In the Oklahoma City Thunder, they're wiser, and they know how to win, and they have home court advantage throughout the playoffs.
So your eyes got real wide earlier when Perk said that SGA is the best player in the world right now.
Well, it got wide when he said it so definitively, like Nikola Jokic doesn't exist. I think it is to the point where it's a conversation now, where Jokic and SGA are in the same conversation, but I still give the edge to Jokic just because of the way that he handles the game. I will say this for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. When it comes late in the last 2 or 3 minutes, he's always going to get a shot up. He's not going to turn the ball over. He's going to make sure that you foul him or you give him enough space that he can create space to get a shot up, a quality shot up. I think Perk sometimes be tripping. I don't think Perk is wild. I don't agree with him, but I don't think he's tripping. That's all.
Yeah, we're looking at the best closer in the game in SGA, right, and a guy who is leading a great offense against the best overall player in Nikola Jokic. And if you're talking about these historical runs, if Nikola Jokic can beat Wemby, and then you can beat this Thunder team, and you win a championship with him playing the way that he's playing, you better clear a spot out that top 10 all time when you're talking about Jokic, because this will be that type of run that cements you as one of those type of greats.
Good summer conversation. When we're all back here, we're going to do that one in July.
We can say the same thing about SGA.
Yeah, that's fair. And we will. Perk, we got to go on this one, but I do think that you guys all kind of laid the table for that one. Wemby is also somebody that might be in that conversation one day. He's proving to be a transcendent star, with Big Perk calling him unguardable. But someone here might have a blueprint for slowing him down. Don't go anywhere. More First Take on the way.